Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of indeed all ages, welcome to the debut of WWW. What a week in wrestling. Quick update of the week, quick 5-minute, see what we can do. Might give you an insight into what to do. At least this puts a face to the person that's been sending you countless messages. Some of you absolutely loving it. Some of you probably sick of them by now. Stick with us. It's all good. Let's start off. The cuts. This has been horrendous for me this week. Lots and lots and lots of people that I've had to swap wrestlers with, basically. Give free transfers to because of these cuts. Luckily for me, it wasn't more high-profile names. Let's kick off. The only one that I'm slightly unsure whether it's a work, Drake Maverick. He's the one that's been cut, but still allowed to compete in the Cruiserweight title tournament. Or, sorry, should I say the interim Cruiserweight title tournament. Yeah, not sure about that one. If he wins it, don't know. Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, fair play to Ryder straight away, instantly. He's got a t-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees saying "not there," which is a play on his earlier t-shirt. He's a moneymaker, and you know he's a figure person, which in my books is good. Hawkins, wife, pregnant at home, sad. The OC, they needed to go. They're stalling in WWE, not doing anything. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. Anderson's already indicated on Twitter that his Machine Gun character is going to come back. I wouldn't be surprised if they both ended up back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Eric Young, wasted again. Such a player. He can do so many different roles, and WWE didn't utilize him, so I'm glad he's gone for his sake. Maria and Mike Kanellis, again, that they've been teasing going for quite a while. So although I'm a big fan of Mike Kanellis' work, they needed to go. Same with Leo Rush, needed to go. Fresh start elsewhere. And same with EC3. I can see him being very, very successful outside of WWE. He's already started with a heel gimmick on his Twitter, which I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing. Rowan, one of the most surprising ones. I thought Vince was quite high on Rowan, but anyone who's given a tarantula in a box gimmick isn't going to get very far with it. But then again, people probably said that about The Undertaker many, many years ago, and look where he got. So I guess it's how you play the game. Sarah Logan and Dianna Pratt, so the only two women in that one. Logan, for me, is one of the standout women in the division. With the Viking Raiders showing no signs of being released, I think maybe she'll come back, I'm hoping. And Dianna Pratt kind of surprised me because recently she's had quite a lot of bit parts, a lot of filler-inners, and I assumed that was because she was a mainstay, which is a bit strange. Cassius Ohno recently, well, today, has put a black and white photo of his boots in the middle of the ring. Does that mean that he is retired? Or does that mean just that the Cassius Ohno gimmick is retired? Again, strange one. He's got loads of potential to be a coach, but I guess at the moment they don't need coaches. Dorian Mack, bit part player in NXT. Don't know much about him. Didn't get to see much about him. We'll see if he does anything elsewhere. No Way Jose. Same gimmick over and over and over again. It's a shame because he can definitely wrestle, but not one of my favourites. Rusev, teasing for a long time. Time to go. Good on him. Heath Slater, is he going to do a 3MB and come back stronger than ever? Yet to see. Wouldn't have said it about Jinder, so you won't say it about Heath right now, but will he? NXT bit parts, MJ Jenkins from the ladies tournament that they had. She seemed alright, but didn't see much of her. Cesar Bononi, he's just been doing nothing, treading water for a long time. And unfortunately for me, Tainara Conti. I saw loads of potential in Tainara Conti. But she walked out last month So that probably has something to do with it being decided to be released. So let's go on to much happier news, the new faces in the league. We've got Carrion Cross, the former Killer Cross, the artist formerly known as Killer Cross, who I assume is going to debut with Scarlett Bordeaux, but we don't actually know what name she's given yet. And they're going to have to do something different with her because Liv Morgan is a very similar character to her. Obviously, they couldn't use the name Killer, being prime time and things wouldn't have been good with the people who pay their wages and have the shares. So they changed it to Carrion. Kind of sounds like airport luggage. Timothy Thatcher, bags of potential. Very, very much looking forward to it. They could do a good feud with Pete Dunne, maybe, when Pete returns from the UK after this awful rubbish is all over. Jake Atlas, an entrant into the Cruiserweight Interim title tournament. I have seen nothing of him, so very much looking forward to seeing it. Kind of looks like a young Steamboat. El Hijo del Fantasma. Big plans for him. There was rumours that it would be something to do with the two people getting abducted. Raul Mendoza got abducted recently. And Wacken also got abducted, so apparently he's got something to do with that. So I can't see him going the whole way because I can't see him facing Devlin. My money in that tournament is on Kushida. Recently put in my FWL team. Yes. Anna Jay, just signed by All Elite Wrestling. If you weren't aware, we've got All Elite Wrestling on the roster now. Tag team titles. SmackDown changed hands without a tag team wrestling. So Kofi Kingston got some points there and John Morrison lost some points. Still makes Morrison look strong, so I can see why they did it. And I think they were giving the fans a little bit of the younger fans anyway, a little bit of a morale boost during these times, and New Day will always do that. Glad to see Big E actually doing something for a change. Because in the FWL so far, he has done absolutely nothing, which is why I got rid of him a long time ago. Wrestlers of the week then. Big E heads up the Wrestlers of the week with 19 points. 10 points for the 10 points for the SmackDown title and 9 points for the win on SmackDown. Sean Spears is next from AEW with 15, as he had a win on both Dark and Dynamite. Akira Tozawa, surprisingly, is third. He got a win in his Cruiserweight title tournament round and got a loss on Raw. And Kofi Kingston is the other one, number 4, without actually wrestling, got himself 10 points. Lots of people on 9 points this week due to wins on the main shows. Standout ones for me, Garza and Theory, looking like a nice little stable with Andrade and Vega there. Something to look at, and very cheap, some of them on the FWL roster. Check out the announcements button to see all the current prices. I updated them last night. Lashley, I can see a big push for Lashley coming soon. There's got to be, otherwise he's going to get released. I know Vince likes his style and that kind of big, beefy man, so we will see. Britt Baker, nice to see her doing something in AEW this week. She's been doing pretty much nothing of recent. So, Money in the Bank qualifiers for the women so far. We have 4 names. We've got Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, and Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke? Sleeper? Maybe? I don't know. Depends if they're going to continue the Baszler and Becky Lynch feud, which kind of makes sense. There's no point making Baszler look that strong for nothing. But whether this is the way forward, don't know. Couple more spots to fill if they keep it at 6. I don't think they're going to up it to 8. Men, just Daniel Bryan that's progressed so far. He has said this will be his final year, I think, if I'm correct. So whether they're going to give him a massive push or whether they're going to have him going out weak towards the end of the year, don't know. The other ones are to do with matches. We've got Mysterio Murphy. I've got to see Murphy doing that. Aleister Black, Austin Theory, black for me. And Apollo Crews MVP. I think I saw MVP on the poster. But it seems wasted not to make Apollo Crews do it. For me, he would have been one of the releases. So they need to do something with him. Can't see past Black winning this myself. He's just the way they have built him and built him and built him. He's got to win it. He's got to. Interesting to see 205 Live on a special this week with a WrestleMania match and a highlight of Brian Kendrick. I hope it doesn't disappear. I'm a massive fan of 205 Live, so I hope it stays. NXT UK obviously on a special as well due to the obvious virus. So those two didn't see anyone picking up any points. I've suspended the NXT UK prices at the moment. They won't be changing until it comes back. Usually prices change when people don't wrestle. They go down in value, but not on this occasion. Going back to Money in the Bank, because I completely forgot. Tamina getting a little bit of a push against Bayley. I'm assuming this is just kind of interim push to lead to the Sasha Banks feud. Can't see Tamina winning it. A lot of you will have seen my meme on Tamina where the producers tell her, we have not got anything for you for 2 years, Tamina, but you can happily be in both Royal Rumbles and have main event WrestleMania matches. Strange how they're using her. They could use her much better. And Strowman against Wyatts. I can see it being a normal match, this one, not like the Firefly Funhouse, because I believe the Money in the Bank matches are going to be very different. They're going to take place at Stamford, at the WWE headquarters, and it's going to basically be a race up to the top of the building with the ladder on the roof, so I can see it being almost like a Die Hard action movie. I don't know whether you agree with me on that one. Let me know in the comments. Vince has changed his mind on the live tapings. After Money in the Bank, the weekly shows will be taped. I believe from reports up until June or July they will be taped. Hopefully there'll be no leaking so I can keep transfers open, but you never know. If there's some leaking of information, I would have to close transfers. Very sad news, Howard Finkel and no! Part of my childhood, part of my growing up. Really sad. One of the really important people to me in wrestling, along with Bobby Heenan and people like that. So very sad news that he's passed away, and best wishes to his family. AEW TNT title tournament. Interesting name. What happens when they change networks? Cody and Lance Archer are through so far. The other matches being Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin and Dustin Rhodes versus Kip Sabian. Nice to see Sabian in that competition. I can only see it going to Cody versus Lance Archer in the final. My thinking is that Lance Archer is going to absolutely destroy Dustin Rhodes in the semi-final, leading to even more grievance between him and Cody. Important dates coming up to get transfers in beforehand. Money in the Bank is on the 10th of May. So the latest that you can put a transfer in to make sure that's happening is the 2nd of May. And Double or Nothing AEW. I went to it last year. Absolutely amazing. Obviously going to be very, very different this year. That's on May the 23rd. So you've got a bit more time if you want to get any transfers in. Double or Nothing classes as one of the kind of like the big four in WWE. So it's the same kind of points. So plenty of points on offer. There are quite a few people with AEW wrestlers already in their team. Once you've got one in, there has to be one minimum, same as other brands. But until you put one in, you don't have to have one in. I know some of you are just fans of WWE. So that has been W. What a week in wrestling. See you next week.